How is Mudristana doing with Discovery Education? How do you see the content that is presented on the channel?
We love to see the content on Mudristana. It's so good to see students getting great educational content from Discovery Education and to see them engaged and learning. And we hear from teachers they really like the quality of the content from Mudristana and they like to see students using it. They like to use it in their classroom themselves.
Yes. There are certain periods of in the school day that they watch Mudristana through. Yes.
It's a wonderful tool that stretches all the way across the nation. It's very helpful.
Yeah. How did it go when you were working with the Ministry of Education on putting new curriculums for children from KG1 and until grade 6?
Well, I tell you, it's been an honor for us to serve the Ministry of Education. Just the brilliant minds there have laid out a plan for Egypt to improve its education over a number of years. And to be part of that vision has been a real honor. They really helped lead the way, I think, for many countries in the region in terms of how do we help students learn and how do we help them improve.
Were there some measures that you take before putting the curriculum? There were some tailoring for the Egyptian culture?
Oh, certainly. It's very important that education be local so that students can see themselves in it and they can see something nearby so it makes sense to them. So even when we're doing, say, something like math, we want to bring in examples from a local marketplace, or we want to see animals that are familiar or cars that are familiar. And also, of course, the language. We produce our information in both Arabic and in English. And it's in modern standard Arabic when it's in a written form, but it has an Egyptian flavor when it's a verbal or spoken Arabic.
Yes, and you produce also the tech book, this book that our children from grade 4 to grade 6, they study math and science.
Yes, our whole approach to education is that learning math and science should be fun. You should learn the content.
This is a challenge where you make the education is a fun thing to do.
Yes, it's a challenge mostly for the community, as it's not perhaps the way we all grew up. But for the students, it's known to be a much better way to learn. When a student has a positive and exciting feeling about learning, they learn more. Whereas if they have a negative or kind of a sad feeling about learning, they learn less. So we really want to focus on that idea that learning is fun and it's something you'll do the rest of your life.
Yes, sure. Frankly speaking, now the student in Egypt who is studying and educated in the governmental schools in Egypt, is he taking the same education, the same level of quality that another student in a European or an American school would take?
If they're in the new education system, yes. If they're in KG through 6 right now, they're learning the same high level of challenge. And all nations have been through this change. It's not just Egypt. All the nations of the world in the last 15 years have really raised academic standards, making it much more challenging than it was when we were kids. And so that's all the more reason why it needs to be done in a fun way, and in a way that learning has an emotional connection to the student, so they'll want to learn this more challenging content.
So you're telling me when mothers say, oh, what are you teaching our children? This is so difficult. We've never learned this way. Why do you make it so hard on our children?
Right.
That is correct. It's harder, but this is what the world needs now. That's what you're telling me?
It's harder, but that's the way the rest of the world has moved in the last 15 years. And the other change is the way that we learn it is more engaging for the students. Instead of memorizing and then taking a test, it's more, can I explain what I'm learning and can I explain my thinking and see it in the rest of the world? So that helps the student become a lifelong learner, not just a test taker. And so it's different. And for mommies and daddies, that's a change. And it's a change that the whole world has been going through since about 1995 or so. And that change keeps on growing. As we know, with AI coming on, the change is accelerating.
Okay.
شوف الحلقة كاملة من خلال تطبيق مدرستنا بلس. مدرستنا، مستقبل يبدأ الآن.